Hey, how's it going, guys? Just a quick video. I want to just give my take building my first PC. It took me 8 hours to do it. Basically, 4 hours building, putting all the pieces together and so forth, and another 4 hours doing like the download and download of Windows, doing driver updates and so forth. Um, so I had like three videos in my channel. I had three videos that was helping me along the way. It took 4 hours to build it because I was taking my time, double checking everything. Um, Two videos. One video was about the motherboard, and where all the pieces fit in, all the cables and so forth. The second one was just a video about the case and everything outside the case and everything else, if that makes sense. Well, like outside the motherboard, like the power supply, where all the cable's gone and everything else. And the third video is where all the download Windows operating system, the drivers, how to update stuff, and switch to XAMP on the motherboard, and how to upgrade the BIOS and stuff like that. So I had three videos running, and I think for the most part, I did pretty good. My wife actually helped me do the thermal paste on the CPU, and that's probably the only thing I needed help on because I don't feel comfortable using. I don't know how much to use, so my wife actually does work with thermal paste at her manufacturing job, so she has experience in that. But I'm pretty proud of the work I done on my PC, and I'm like a little video right here too. It's all black, no RGB except for the motherboard, so I actually turned that off. I love it. I like the all black look and everything else. As you can see here is the CPU cooler, RAM sticks right behind it. PNY 4070 Super wasn't my first choice, or the PNY wasn't my first choice. I wanted the Founders Edition, but I was able to get through Amazon with discounts from Amazon, brought it down considerably cheaper versus the regular price of 600. Um, so like I said, I was got the motherboard in front of me, putting the parts together, looking at with a video on the side, pausing it, taking my time putting it. And one thing I noticed is that when I was putting the CPU in, I didn't know the spring has so much tension. I'm thinking, like, oh, is this normal? Because all the videos just do it, but I'm just watching it, but doing it myself with that spring. It's like, why is there a lot of tension? So, I put the spring on and everything else. The black cover popped out. It's okay, good. That's good. That's the part I remember seeing. Like, not feeling the tension just threw me off. Actually doing it myself. So my wife added the added the thermal paste. I put the CPU cooler and everything else. Um, One thing I didn't realize is that I wonder if my RAM sticks had enough clearance to go underneath the CPU tower right here. Luckily it did, which I'm pretty happy about. That's one thing I didn't notice, that I'm using two different videos for the PC build, so I know all the parts are the same but similar. So just gotta pay. That thing I didn't pay attention to. There's gonna be enough room. So I guess there are wider CPUs, and that goes much lower than the cooler I have now. So um, what else? The power supply was self-explanatory. The one video was using helped a lot. Just get the cable, the 24-pin connector, the EPS, and the GPU power supply. And I think that's the only three cables I connected to, from the power supply to the motherboard and GPU. Cable management is pretty terrible, since I skipped that part. The cable management at the end, pretty much. I was at the end of it. I was just so glad everything came together. When it came to the cable management, I just bought the cables, stuffed it in the back cover, and call it a day. I was just so anxious and excited at the same time to get this PC up and running. Double checked everything, the EPS cable. I just used one single 8-pin. The extra 4-pin is if I'm planning to overclock the CPU, which I'm not. Everything's running stock. Um, GPU right here. It uses this the 16-pin connector, and this right here is the GPU mountain bracket. So if I had a longer GPU, it would definitely sit on there. But this is a 4070 Super. It's not a monster like the 4080 or 4090. 24-pin connector, USB header right here. I think that's a fan cable right here, and I think there's a couple more USB cables down here, more fan connectors. The fans were pretty much easy, and saw 3 fans right here, right here, right here. Just get the extra airflow in here. The power supply was pretty simple. Snug. There's a separate compartment, which is nice. So I don't get to see. I don't like seeing extra space. There's definitely more space over here, so got me thinking when I was building it, maybe I should have gotten a smaller. I think there's like a mid 30. I think there's like a 35 liter. So I was thinking maybe I should have gotten me a much less liter uh, PC case. This is from Decool at CH3070. But if I want to, I guess this. But when I was looking at this, no, I need this case is perfect because I can get the if I were to upgrade the GPU, this I definitely have enough clearance. It's not going to hit the fan if it was a little shorter. So that's one thing I was happy about. I'm glad I got this case. Is I got extra space if I were to upgrade the GPU. I got no. I wanted to get an air cooler instead of a liquid coolant. I do have enough space up here to do like AIO up. That's what's it called. But I don't know. I think they're too much, and I have a Intel 14400F CPU. It's not like one of those the higher tier ones, the i5, the i7, the i9, the high tier ones. Then it makes sense to get the IIO. But this one doesn't run too hot or anything else like that. So this motherboard came with Wi-Fi, which is great. So I don't have to buy a separate accessory for that or anything like that. Here's the Wi-Fi antennas. And so there's three slots for one side is being taken by my SSD, WD SSD card, 1 TB, and the other one's Wi-Fi. And I got a one blank one if I were to decide a second SSD and so forth. Let's see what else. I think that's it. So I've connected the fan and everything else. Everything looks good. And then the moment I turned it on, nothing happened. Nothing happened. So my heart sank, and I was like panicking, like what's going on? Double checked everything. I know I'm not gonna take anything apart, so I'm just looking at it. It's in the middle of the night too, so I got my flashlight just to see what's going on and everything. Double check everything seemed connected. Went back to the videos, retraced my steps, and nothing. I couldn't figure it out. So I was looking at the power supply. So I had to take the power supply out again, just make sure the connectors are good there. What did it? What? And so I was so flustered and frustrated. I guess my wife saw it and saw it in my face, so she decided to look at it. And I was like, okay, sure, whatever. In my head, like, well, what's my wife? My wife doesn't know about PCs. So I walked away, and she said, "Are you sure the connector's good?" Just the connector. I said, "No, I double checked and everything." So I looked at the connector. It's this connector right here that connects. I guess I don't know which one. It was 2-pin connectors. I was just using one, so I don't know if it was connected to the 24-pin or the EPS. More than likely, it's this one over here. So this 24-pin, it goes all the way down to this power supply. It has two 8-pin connectors. I only had one connected. So I plugged in the second one, put the PSU back together, and I told my wife, just turn it on for me. I'm going to turn around, and made a couple sounds. The RGB lights kicked in, and I was like, hallelujah, I made it. I got it. It's running. I'm one step closer. I was so excited. And then BIOS popped up, and I looked at my wife's like, now what? Never thought I made it this far, because I never built a PC. This is my first time. I'd watched a ton of YouTube videos. seeing and doing it actually are two different things. So I made it this far. I was so excited. And what pissed me off is that I knew I had to download the Windows creation file, and I should have done it at work because I had a USB drive at work and I had a work laptop I can use. But I wasn't thinking I'm at home over the weekend away from work, and so I needed a second laptop. I need a second laptop. My wife just uses MacBook and it wouldn't work that way because I think I had to open it and then download it on the computer. So I text my brother if she's available. As mind you, it's like 11 p.m. or midnight, so no one's answering their phones or text messages. Hey, can I borrow your computer and everything else? So I was just pretty much stuck, not doing much. So the next day, my sister did answer. She dropped off her Windows computer. I sat on it for maybe half the day the next day because I was doing stuff with my wife and kid, and we came back, had some time, used the Windows computer, downloaded the key and the BIOS update too, just to be sure, because doing the PC part picker is said about I have to update BIOS to use the 14 gen. So, like I said, that took 4 hours total. Not the day, not the time, not including the time that I couldn't do anything, so then I didn't have a second laptop. So looking back now, I was pretty happy about it. Everything works fine. There's quirks here and there and so forth, but that was my horror story. Definitely recommend taking your time, get the right videos, at least 3 videos. One for the motherboard where all the parts go, and the second video about the case, where the USB headers go to, where the cable management and everything else, and the third video just about Windows and the BIOS update. Alright guys, thanks, bye.